All right, hello and welcome. How's everyone doing on what I hope is a fantastic July the 15th? Jeff, you seem to got a bit of the the humdrums going on today.
Yeah, thanks, Thomas. You did this. I planned not to be here. You pulled me from the future.
It's true. On Discord today or last night, you mentioned, this was an episode in which basically nothing happens, and he said, "Hey, can you do it solo?" And I was willing to give it my best go, yo, but I'm glad to see that go yo. So rhymes with solo. So
and I don't know if Josh Rolo. I don't know if Josh is joshing. He says, "Why can't we hear or see Matthew, but can hear and see Professor?"
Well, I am kind of back to futuring. If you look at the top of my head, it's like ghosting out at certain spots. I haven't quite gotten the chroma key down right.
I know, that's tricky, isn't it?
It is.
It took me forever, and I don't know if I still have it quite perfected. But
And hello everyone in the chat. I do want to say, like, I'm sorry if I'm not very good about reading chats. I really do appreciate everyone being here, and I do strive to pay attention. I'm just really, really bad at this. And I always appreciate you guys being here.
Hey, I think you do fairly well. A lot better than a lot of channels.
Yeah, but I mean, Bird of Prey is my standard for when it comes to reading chat.
Yeah, Bird was awesome at that. I have to give him that.
It may have taken him 2 hours to get to what you said, but he got to every last thing that said.
He really did. And yes, Mercer, rest in peace, Bird. Indeed. We miss you, Bird.
We do. And yes, happy birthday to Trek Reviewer, apparently.
Oh, happy birthday, Trek Reviewer.
How you doing? What am I allowed to ask what number this is? Don't share if you don't want to, but hey, if you are comfortable with that, what number is this? And actually on that, I got done dirty today at work.
Oh. Uh-oh.
We were in a vendor meeting. So, this company comes in and they're doing a sales pitch to us. Like, why should we use their equipment? And they look around and say, "Hey, we are so glad." And they look right at me and they go, "To see so many generations of engineers in this room." And I'm like, yes, okay, fine. I am the oldest person here, sadly. This is a younger man's game, apparently. But I was like, that was just real dirty right there.
Wow.
Okay, so Truck Reviewer, you got one up on me. He turned 42 today. And I'm not the oldest by a lot. I think the next oldest guy is like 36. And then we have several like pretty recently out of college type kids.
Oh, you truly can't complain about your age until you get to at least 2000. Come on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yes, Sebastian is older since he was preserved by the Vorlons.
Well, that's true.
If only we had Sebastian here, get his thoughts on this.
Indeed. It's too bad he's not here. Well, maybe it's a good thing he isn't here. I don't know.
Trek, I'm still always younger than the salty Trekker. That's true. Who, I actually haven't
think he's
watched
older than I am, and I'm 953, so.
I haven't watched his latest video on the Superman movie. Have you seen that yet?
No, I haven't. I was thinking of going Sunday, but I was not feeling well Sunday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I didn't go.
We've had like this weird respiratory-ish thing going around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Anna's got it right now. She's congested.
So the weird thing about this one is, like, you get it, you start with like a headache and a sore throat, and cough develops, and then around day 7 you start getting like pink eye symptoms, where like you get goopy eyes.
Oh, I don't want that.
But we went to the doctor, and the doctor's like, yeah, this isn't pink eye, this is just sinus mucus. It's just something about this time round, it's producing mucus. It's very weird.
Well, I haven't had that.
Good. And
thankfully.
It may be just the variant we have around here. It's one of those things where you're like, are you sure it's not pink eye? Are you sure it's not? Like, what if we have the cold plus pink eye? But like, we went twice, once for my oldest and once for my youngest. I'm like, no, you're fine. But Amy got it.
For that.
Somehow I've missed all of it so far. Hopefully God continues to protect me. I do not want respiratory junk. But everyone else in the family is just down and out. We're finally better now.
Oh.
We're on the mend.
Good. I'm glad you're all on the mend.
But had you seen Superman, I was going to be curious about your take on it.
No, I have not seen it. I'd like to see it. Maybe I'll go sometime soon, but I've not seen it yet.
I'd love to see. I haven't, but I'd like to go see it. I say go see it. I'm at the stage of life where go seeing it means wait for it to be released on some sort of digital media
streaming service.
Yeah. And Mercer was saying that he didn't hate it, but he didn't like it. That's so true. That's kind of I feel like that's the response I'm seeing on, like, I haven't watched any in-depth reviews. I've only read just kind of the highlight reviews of like, it was good, it was bad.
Those. In case I do see it sometime soon.
Well, no spoilers. But that's exactly what I'm seeing across all reviews. Like, such a mixed bag. And I can't figure out if people are upset that it's not doing what they want, or upset that it is doing what people want, or what. Because it seems like every movie now, you're either upset because it's including some messaging, or you're upset because it didn't include the right messaging. But no one actually reviews a movie just based on whether or not it was a fun movie. Like the Jurassic Park movie that recently came out.
Mm-hmm.
All the reviews I saw for that
either
were people being like, "Oh, this movie is just like all the other Jurassic Park movies," and it's like, yeah, and they have been some of the most consistently well-grossing movies of a franchise I've seen in a long time. So what's the problem here?
Now, Anna has a point there, being from Ohio, and I'm from Ohio as well. They filmed a lot of that in Cleveland. So she loves seeing the Cleveland landmarks in the film.
So, one thing I have enjoyed about Superman movies is I like the old 70s Superman with, they just kind of leaned into some of the campiness of it. The Superman we had that on VHS. It was Superman and the Quest for Peace. I think that was number 4.
Right.
Yeah. That's one where he gets cloned from a strand of his hair, and he gets rid of all nuclear weapons. That creates this clone. Just wonderful. Horrible, but wonderful.
It was not a good film.
And was it 2 or 3 where it starred the black guy who did all the noises?
No, it was Richard Pryor in that film, and it was 3.
Was he not the one that did the noises?
No, Richard Pryor was a big comedian back in the day.
Who did the noises?
Michael Winslow, Mercer says.
By any chance, do they look anything alike? Because we all know we all know that I am a
don't think
lost
so.
cause on recognizing any face.
I know.
I hold out hope that one of these days people are like, oh no, I understand how you got this person mixed up. They actually do look similar. Like recently in Babylon 5, we had an actress who looked like Samantha Carter, Amanda Tapping.
Yes. Messages from Earth.
So like that was, I'm like, okay, finally, I had one instance where yes, this actress actually did look like another actress. So no, not even. Yeah, Michael Winslow was from Police Academy. That is who I was thinking of. But
and Spaceballs.
Oh, he was also. There's the same person. See,
Yeah,
this way, I can't even tell when people are themselves. Like
he played the radar technician. He did all the noises.
Yeah, with the bloops.
The bleeps, and the creeps. Yeah, exactly. Trevor Lawrence says that he noticed the resemblance to Amanda Tapping as well.
Yeah. Okay. So every once in a while, I do get it right. It's very far and few in between, though.
And Josh, yes, he was describing Superman 4 at the start, but then he went into another film in the franchise, and it was number 3.
Which I feel like 3 was campier than 4.
Yeah, 3 it was very comedic, I thought, and they played into Richard Pryor's comedic.
Which one?
I guess.
Which one was it where Superman gets exposed to like the red kryptonite and he goes to the bar?
That was 3.
That was 3. See, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As an adult, I saw the gifs for him in the bar. I didn't remember that scene, you know, I'm me. And I'm like, okay, this is like some 2-bit actor. This is from like a YouTube short somewhere. And I was so surprised when it finally clicked. I'm like, no, wait, this really happened in a official Superman movie where he goes to a bar and is surly at people.
See, I like 4 more than 3.
Yeah.
It felt more like a Superman film than 3 did.
It did. I wasn't a super fan of, was it Superman Returns? I think it was the one where he ended up being a father, and it was kind of like
I thought that was all right.
It just wasn't my favorite. It was like it was weird in that it had Lex Luthor doing exactly what he's done before of trying to create land.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at the same time,
he's going to vomit.
What's wrong?
I'm not sure.
But are you doing a quote maybe,
Joel? I don't know.
So it was like this soft reboot, but at the same time, they kind of were like, "Oh, this is also a continuation of the first 4," because Superman had Lois had her night with Superman, but now she can remember that experience where in the movie he gave her the kiss of forgetfulness, which
at the end of 2.
Yeah. So it was like this weird territory thing for me. Whereas the one that was it Snyder who did that one? The most recent one before this one. That was the reboot to the DC universe. Or kicked off the DC.
Did Man of Steel and then Batman versus Superman and then Justice League.
So the Man of Steel, I know I've talked about this ages ago. I wasn't a big fan of the Man of Steel.
I'll be honest, I've not seen it. I didn't want to see it.
This may come as a shock considering what I just said. I recommend you see it. Okay. It was an interesting take on what if Superman was Superman today, and he's not this paragon of virtue. He's just a Joe Schmo sort of guy. 100% product of this generation. You know, Superman in the past has always been truth, justice, and the American way. He has been the idyllic version of what people long to be. They should be virtuous. They should be strong. They should be able to do these things. And this was a much more human take on Superman.
Okay.
But that's so it was interesting, but that's not who Superman is, and so I didn't like it. And one of the biggest complaints for me is they kill off someone in the movie by having a man who grew up in Kansas hide under a bridge from a tornado. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, but no, you're not going to kill off a character who grew up in Kansas and knows better hiding under a bridge from a tornado.
Right.
Like, you don't do that. Guys, if you don't know this, hey, little tip for you, never, ever hide under a bridge in a tornado.
No, that's not a good place. Unless
It
that's
actually,
the only place you can go.
Yeah, you're far better off like getting down in a ditch by the side of the road than getting under the bridge. The bridge focuses the winds and makes it even more intense and more dangerous. And yeah, Mercer, the new Superman was the most human, and that's the take he wanted to take on it. The director, which it didn't really work for me. Like, that's not who Superman is. And it was also like, and that was the standard that he was taking for the DCEU. What if all these superheroes were just 100% more human? And I think that they actually became more interesting when you got to Aquaman, where even Aquaman was more human than we've seen him portray in the past, but they kind of didn't go so hard into it, and they let him still be mythological in nature. And then Diana, 100% mythological. Like, she was, her second one, she got really human.
I didn't see the second one.
You know
I
what?
saw the first one, but not the second one.
Now
you're going to tell me to watch the second one.
I will. I will. So I'll say this, like, don't go out of your way to purchase it. But if you have the opportunity to watch it for free and you have an evening, as a person who enjoys movies in general, and I enjoy the art of storytelling, and I enjoy really looking into it, I recommend it. You know, spend an evening, think about it. And honestly, one of the things I had always planned to do back when I was more consistent on YouTube was doing a breakdown of the DCEU and talking about how they could have taken the framework of what they had and actually turned it into a good series. Because they had great stuff in there, but they failed to get cohesion in their movies.
Yeah. You were consistent on YouTube?
More consistent.
More consistent. Okay. You know, you did get a new article of impeachment.
Just now? What did I do?
Telling Jeff to watch Man of Steel after saying that he hated it.
Did I say I hated it? I said I didn't like it. And honestly, like, this is something I have as a complaint for just movies in general right now. Movies in general have forgotten the art of storytelling. They've forgotten that you start by letting you see the world the character is in and how they have a desire for something that goes beyond where they are in life. Every movie across the board, that's what you start with, because it works. And then throughout the movie, you have them overcome different issues, and at the end, they finally achieve the thing that they were longing for the whole time. Like, that is the quintessential nature of the story. And we don't do that anymore. We start with, hey, here's some wacky caricatures of people. They have wacky things happen to them. Sometimes a serious moment happens, but we immediately undercut it with a punchline because no one's allowed to feel sad anymore. And by the end, they achieve stuff, but it has no relation to who they were at the beginning of the movie. And it drives me batty. Omni, and we've talked about this. You are in an abusive relationship with Star Trek, and you need to let it. You need to let it go. I said Star Trek. Star Trek. Excuse me. You're in an abusive relationship with Star Trek and Field.
I distracted you.
I wish that was the case, but no. That was just Matthew.
Work with me. I'm trying to cover for you.
Yeah, so Josh is wondering, what was the tinfoil hat prediction I had last week about what this episode is going to be about.
Well, you said you had two ideas. We have something going on with Psy-Core. We have a dream walker type person where someone can get into people's dreams and attack them in that dream state. Metaphorically, we have someone who will have their dreams cut off. But who? Will it be Londo? Well, we just had a Londo episode, and it seems like his dreams were confirmed recently. It doesn't make much sense that it's Jakar's dreams being severed. Maybe it's Garibaldi's, who's maybe not, because he seems to be in a good position. Franklin? Well, he's having a problem with the stems. He has a crisis with the stems where he has a loss of trust. Maybe he has a moment specifically with Garibaldi, since he had that confrontation recently with him about the stems, and that the trust between them will be broken and there will be severed dreams. So is it Psy-Core, or is it this thing going on between Franklin and Garibaldi? I think you settled on Franklin.
I did.
Yep.
And Thomas is saying I got 87% right on my prediction. That's amazing. Wow.
Well, I gave you the plot, didn't I?
Yeah, beforehand
on Discord.
You kind of threw me a bone. Yeah,
you saw that, right? The TV guide listing.
Oh no, you're talking about really? No, I did not.
You didn't. You didn't read it. Wow. Okay. So the TV guide listing for this episode is: in order to help Dolores prepare for the oncoming darkness, Kosh enters her dreams, but he becomes horrified by the abstract, bizarre, and nonsensical environment he finds in her mind and abruptly stops. Marcus wins a beauty contest. Judge number 1, J.G. Hertzler. Nothing happens in this episode.
Yeah, that's what you've been saying. You tried to get out of it because it was such a nothing episode, but...
Oh, I know. Thomas just pulled me back from the future, so,
You got drugged back in.
Thanks. I'll remember this.
Well, I look forward to seeing if I am right. So, as you can see, I have pinned the link to the streaming room. Come join us if you're here right now. And all that does is it lets us all watch our copies of Babylon 5 at the same time within a couple seconds of each other, ideally. If you're here in the future...
I forgot. I forgot. Thomas, thank you for reminding me. Future guesses. The White Star gets severely damaged by being outclassed, and they reach out to the Technomages to upgrade the White Star. That's future guess number 1. And number 2, by stating that there are 3 opportunities to overcome his fate, implies that Londo will fail the first 2.
Yes.
So thank you, Thomas. You redeemed yourself.
Yeah, and those, you got to remind me of those, because those are absolutely predictions I stick by until they come true.
Spot on,
long it takes.
Yes. Well, we'll see.
So, if you're here in the future, sorry, you can click on that link, but there's not going to be anything there. This is not a way for you to watch it because I don't have the streaming rights to it. If you want to watch it, then go to one of the places that does have streaming rights to it. You can go to Roku. I believe they have it right now. You can go to Tubi. Both of those places let you stream it for free with commercials, which I think is a pretty fair deal. Or you can watch on Amazon, which if you have Amazon Prime. So one of the things about Amazon Prime that don't know how I feel about this right now, guys. You can watch it on Amazon Prime, but they put in commercials unless you pay an extra $3 a month to not get commercials.
Yeah, Paramount Plus does the same thing. Thanks, Omni.
Yeah. So that's interesting, and we found that out because my kids have become addicted to Little House on the Prairie, that wonderful 1980s TV show.
Wow. Yes. I remember that.
Yeah, and when we found out that we could pay $3 a month and not have to watch commercials, we were all over that. So I hate that they got us. I hate that so much that they got us, but they got us.
They got you. Wow. Okay. But you know why they do that? Because they actually make more. They actually make more money on the ads than they do.
Oh yeah.
Charging maybe $1 or $2 extra. So they have to kick it up even more to match.
Yeah. But you know what you don't have to pay monthly fees for? And you know what doesn't come with commercials? The physical media. As always, 100% recommend you just go and buy that wonderful physical media. I didn't look to see what it was today. You just missed an amazing Prime Day sale if you didn't get it already. It was like 50 some odd bucks. Usually it's in the mid to upper 70s. They might have it back at like full price since they're just doing all these discounts. I don't know. But look, you just can't beat physical media. If you're here and you don't want to go to another streaming service, you don't have the physical media, maybe you're on a cell phone and you can only be here with us.
Wow. It's still $55.70 for the Blu-ray set on Amazon.
I'm shocked.
I am as well.
So, guys, by all means, if you're looking for a fun series, that's $10 a season. $10 and some change.
A little bit.
$11. $11 a season. So, like I said, I think physical media is king. It never goes away from you. You can make your backups so that you don't have to worry about the physical media getting damaged. It's just, and you get to support good TV shows. You know, using your money to show that this is the sort of content you want. Best way to get your voice out there, in my opinion.
Omni, I'd like to have Crusade.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
Omni says he would like to pick up Crusade. I would also like to pick up Crusade.
I'm going to have to whenever we get to that area.
You want to watch it?
Yeah. Yeah. Wherever it fits.
I didn't know. I didn't know if we were going to do Crusade or not.
Now, is that the kind of TV miniseries, or was that the
it
movie?
Was a spin-off series. It only went about a half season or so before it was canceled.
Yeah, it's 20 years from now.
It was supposed to be a full 5-season series, but it only went about a half season.
Did it get resolved at the end of that half season, or we just left?
No, we're just kind of left hanging. Yeah, that's kind of why I was debating. Do you want to do that? Do you want to watch that? It is kind of resolved in the books.
Okay.
I mean, you get a resolution of some sort there, but
well, you know,
it was a good show. It's just it got mucked up by the network too much. Got canceled.
It's a half season. I think it's only fair that we give it a watch.
Okay.
We'll watch Babylon 5 and the movies as they come up, and then we'll kind of top it off with Crusade, as Thomas says, in about 20 years.
20 years, yeah.
Give it if I keep the current schedule. Yeah.
Might be generous.
Yeah.
I agree, Trevor Lorne. TNT executives, they're to blame for that. Definitely.
But like I was saying, we got some stills right here. So if you're here, you only got your phone, we'll include a still image, just a photo, once every 7 to 9 seconds, so that you have a reference for what's going on. And ideally, I'm actually talking about that and not being highly distracted as I do. So let's go and jump into the episode. Hopefully you're over in the streaming room so you can watch this live with us. If you're here in the future, I'm going to give you a quick 3 countdown so that you can sync up your watch time with us and we can get this going. So 3, 2, 1, hit that play button, everyone. And super ideally, I've actually gotten the clips right. Yes. 2 weeks ago, I did not get it right. Okay, so Londo is in line. He's been in line for 2 hours, and he's talking to this guy right here who can't get a word in edgewise. And I don't know if you've ever spent any time in an airport or anything, but there's always someone like this where you just want to be minding your own business, and some guy just won't stop talking. And so last week the Narn took over as as security. And because the Night Watch, they kind of tried to do a coup. It was technically endorsed by the president, but it was technically a coup. And so they were able to work things out where they pulled a fast one on Night Watch, or Night Force, excuse me, on Night Force.
Night Force, yes.
And all the Night Force people were incarcerated, more or less, had to stand down, and the Narn stepped up to take over security. And they've actually been doing a good job. Crime is already down, and they're, dealing with the Centauri respectfully, more or less. But they are clearly giving Ambassador Malari a hard time. Malari. And one of the other things that happened last week is that we do have some ships acting as, I don't like calling them a rebellion, as freedom fighters. Wait a minute. That guy, that captain. Okay, I know him.
Do you recognize him?
I do. I either recognize him as Wonder Year's dad, or as the guy in Quantum Leap. He was the one they revealed in the last episode, the barman or something.
He was in Star Trek.
I don't
actually both these actors. Actually, both these actors have been in Star Trek.
I don't recognize. Okay, when they were on Star Trek, were they heavily make-upped?
The captain, no. Actually, he's a major. The guy on the left, he played Braxton on Voyager in Relativity, the episode Relativity.
Yes, I see that.
Him.
I hear that.
And he played several roles.
So not Wonder Year's dad.
I don't know.
Let's see. Probably not.
But that's Bruce McGill as Major Ed Ryan. He was Braxton on Voyager. And the other guy, Phil Morris, he's playing the character Bill Traynor. He played Cadet Forrest in Star Trek 3. He played Klingon in DS9. He played a Jemadar in DS9. Oh. And he played John Kelly, 21st century astronaut in Voyager. One Small Step.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There is one role that I actually had a chance of recognizing him in from that list. And now that you say it, I can see that. So Dan Laurie is the dad from Wonder Years.
Okay.
But they, who was it? Someone in the chat was saying that he is indeed from the last episode of Quantum Leap. He was the owner of the bar.
Okay.
So 50%. I'll take it.
Good night, Mercer. Take care of yourself.
Night, Mercer.
And you're not interrupting our show. Not at all.
Okay, so, and also, the whole thing between the two Earth ships fighting. Last week, you had the resistance movement, the resistance that they are seeing or they've been working with our good captain this entire season.
Resistance is a good word.
That they are individuals who recognize that the vice president staged a coup, and that they've been working with the captain, with the Rangers, trying to resist this movement in the Earth that's aligned itself with the Shadow Spiders. And I saw that Commander Hoshi makes a guest appearance. So that'll be interesting, getting someone from Enterprise.
No, it's not that Hoshi. It's actually Hiroshi.
Oh, Hiroshi. Excuse me. I was a letter off.
Yes.
Sorry, Thomas. So you had a group of people who did not bow down to the Earth's government's martial law, galaxy-wide martial law. Yeah, and now I have to call her Hoshi.
You have to call her Hoshi, yeah. You have to pay attention to this episode. It moves fast.
Okay, so this individual, this Minbari,
Yep.
There we go. They're just saying that there are already bounty hunters on the station trying to get him.
As valuable information.
And this Narn, they're trying to talk about how they can get him past security, how they can get him to the med lab, or else he's going to die. And the Narn shows up and he says, "You can't, but I can." And so he's going to carry him as far as he needs to. Is that what he says?
Good old Jakar.
Josh is saying just call him Ranger. Just call who Ranger?
The Minbari. He's a ranger.
Okay. Or just call him a Ranger.
Or Anlashok. Take your pick.
We both know I'm not going to be able to pronounce that. So one of the big issues at the end of the last episode is that they decided to play silly buggers with the Earth government. And that's how they were able to oust Night Force. They're saying we need to confirm the felicity of this document. And by doing that, they really show their hand that they are part of the resistance. And so now we see an Earth ship coming through the jump gate, and there's a question of what the relationship is going to be with that ship. Are they going to be seen as seditious rebels? Or are they going to be treated with kindness? And the captain is saying that they've just been thrust into the middle of extraordinary events, and so we must approach this calmly and rationally, which to me says they're about to get fired on. And he's saying that he's as loyal to Earth as they are, but he is going to render humanitarian aid to them. And so the ship is clearly one of the resistance ships. And he is recognizing that by offering them aid, it's going to make it even look more like the truth that he's on the resistance side. And so he's trying to craft this as him just offering humanitarian aid to anyone who needs it. And the Ranger is saying that the shadow is moving, that they made alliances with many. And they're getting Earth to go to war with many of their neighbors.
Well, not just Earth, not Earth. It's the League of Non-Aligned Worlds.
Oh. And so he's saying that the non-aligned worlds have gathered together and they have grown into a dream of conquest.
They're fighting amongst themselves.
And the Great Council says that the problem is of others, not their problems. Yeah, they are misaligned worlds.
Right?
Oh. Random Dutch angle is random. And this is an interesting thing that they're doing with the non-aligned worlds, because we haven't really heard much about them at all this season. But
no, we haven't.
One of the growing issues whenever we had those UN room moments was that the non-aligned worlds had so little voice at the table. Which, the fact that this was clearly modeled around the actual UN, you can see how third world-esque countries who, you're allowed to be at the UN, but you're not really allowed to have a seat on any of the councils or stuff, would have had that same sort of feeling. And so now that they actually have a chance to have their voice heard on a galactic scale, they are leaping at the chance. But unfortunately, they're leaping at each other instead of staying aligned as non-aligned worlds. Excuse me. And so Captain Braxton here is talking about how under the last firefight, Commander Haig was killed in the line of duty.
General Haig.
General Haig, excuse me. General
Yes.
Haig. And they're bombing Mars right now.
And these are a new class of Star Furies that can fly in an atmosphere.
Oh.
Thunderbolts.
And you hear over the comms them begging them not to drop missiles, so they have women and children and families down here. And Earth Force ignores them completely. They're like, nope, Free Mars movement is done. And Lanier is warning Dolores that the Grey Council is not what it once was. They may not even see her. And you may recall that, she was Satai, Omni. She was Satai. That she was on the Grey Council, and they used it as an excuse, the fact that she has undergone this humanation hybridization as an excuse to get rid of her. That she's no longer pure Minbari.
Ooh.
Oh, and as she leaves, someone else is coming in. And, someone's taking a swipe at someone. Oh, and it's Hoshi. Okay, sorry, I'm extremely curious to know how they're going to handle this, because either someone liked Churchill and they named the ship after him, or someone dislikes Churchill and they're about to use the fact that they named the ship the Churchill as a moment to take a swipe at him.
Oh.
Uh-oh. We interrupt this news with a breaking
Story.
announcement. And so this individual, he's doing a Good Morning Vietnam moment where officially, nothing happened, but unofficially all this stuff is going on. And what he is describing is that the people of Mars are rebelling against the Earth government, that they're setting themselves as free Mars states. And the Earth Force came in and bombed the news station because they didn't want it to be shared. And Texas is saying that anchor was apparently pregnant when they filmed this. The classic raise the the table up just high enough to hide the belly technique.
Right.
And so what she is explaining right now is that, which she seems to be on his side, or at the very least not against him. Ooh. Love
nice
the
shot
dolly zoom.
there.
That's one of my favorite camera techniques. But what she's saying is that there are ships on the way right now to come and take command of Babylon 5 at all costs. And yes, Omni, Hitchcock was the one who popularized that shot. It's a dolly zoom. It's really cool. It's as you back the camera up, you zoom it in, and so you get this weird feeling where the person stays where they are, but it feels like they're moving. It feels like the background is swallowing them up.
Yeah.
And yeah, Jules, the Civil War has completely... I'm not sure if we could say it's begun, but it's smoldering. The fire may not be burning all the way yet, but you got some embers going, some little flames licking up. It's about to take off.
I told you nothing happens in this episode.
Yeah, big old nothing burger.
Yeah. This is a good point. He's considering all the people on the station, too.
But he was saying that there's 250,000 people here on Babylon 5 and billions of people out there, and I promised to Lynn that I would stand firm against the shadow of people no matter what.
Against the darkness.
Against the dark. And we can't just walk away. If we surrender, they're going to court-martial us. And so everyone's chiming in. Ivanova's ready to fight. Garibaldi's ready to fight. Even Franklin is ready to fight.
Yeah, Thomas, hopefully the techno mages can give the station some shields.
But could they upgrade it in time, Thomas? And yeah, the captain's pointing out that G'Kar has promised their loyalty, and he has kept every promise he has made to him. Which is very true for G'Kar throughout the season. He's been, even when he was being the heel character, he was honest. Like, everything he said was the truth. And he says, try and see if you can access Drall's holographic system. I have an announcement to make.
Oh, we've seen Susan use it before.
And one of the big things going on with the Grey Council is that her replacement was from the military caste. And
the warrior caste, yeah.
The warrior caste. And they are supposed to have 3 members from each of the 3 castes. The warriors, the priests, and the peasants, the peons, the working class.
The workers, working, yeah.
And
worker class.
The other 2 classes felt that the priest caste, which Dolores is a part of, went behind their backs, and so
religious
to reprimand them, they brought on another warrior caste individual.
Thomas says quiet. Thomas says quiet. Listen.
So she's giving them a stern talking to, that they
Yes.
that for 1,000 years they've been waiting for prophecy, and now that it's here, they're doing nothing because they no longer even believe in the prophecy. And talking about how they're supposed to be standing on that edge between darkness and light. But now they stand for nothing but their own better interests.
Petty
Interests. Petty interests. But she is pointing out how the other races are all fighting amongst themselves. That the shadow creatures. Oh, and she breaks the staff.
Yes.
And apparently it was even prophesied that the council was going to be broken. And she's saying that if the warrior caste won't fight, then the rest of us need to. That we control 2/3 of the forces. And one person, 2, 3, 4, 5 people follow her. 5 out of 9.
5 of 9, yep.
So we know that there are 4 of the 9 were military. So everyone who wasn't military went. But interestingly, one of the military people did grab the arm of the last person who was leaving.
Yes. Yes, this is Rance Howard as his dad.
Oh.
David Sheridan.
Now, at the end of the last episode, or middle actually, they closed down all communication channels except gold channels. Do we know if they've opened those back up?
Well, they shut them all down in this episode, except the priority channel.
And the dad is saying he follows the news. He knows what's going on. At least he followed it until ISN went black. But they both know they can't be too open because the lines are monitored. And he's saying, what was the first lesson I ever taught you? And he says, never give up, never surrender. No, he says never start a fight.
But always finish the fight.
And that's very much what he's doing right now. That he was trying to not have this escalate. But now that the fight has come to him, he is willing to stand firm.
Great expression on Bruce Boxleitner's face there.
So the Thunderbolts, or Thunderbirds, what's the new
Thunderbolts?
Thunderbolts.
These are not Thunderbolts here.
Right. It looked like the Thunderbolts had a couple extra wings on them.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Sorry. Edge all of a sudden brought up a pop-up window and covered your face. Sorry about that, Jeff.
Oh. Okay, sorry.
But you're back.
It's okay. Here we go.
And Tom was saying, yeah, another listening moment. There's a lot of that this episode.
There is.
Hey, William, how you doing tonight?
Hello, William.
Now, so he's doing the July 4th President Day sort of speech. That it's time for us to stand united and fight. Talking about how the President Clark has broken away from what's right, and so Babylon 5 is seceding from the Earth Alliance. That they're going like the South. We always said it would rise again. It just took us a couple thousand years, longer than we thought.
A thousand?
Hundreds.
Few hundreds. Oh boy.
Now, interestingly, with him doing that holographic projection thing, it showed him as being in key locations throughout the station. But I kind of got in my own head, I imagined that what actually happened is that each person was seeing him, like, talking more directly to him.
And some people interpret that it went beyond the station to like Earth. I mean, they didn't show it, but yeah, one walked out.
K. Roberts, the name of the place, Alabama 5. And Ivanova is asking for permission to be on one of the Star Furies. And Sheridan initially tries to say no, but she makes a very good argument, and he changes his mind. Yeah, Thomas, it was the fact that he appeared in the staircase that made me think that he was, like, that people are seeing him more directly. That it wasn't just, oh, hey, I'm in key spots throughout the station. It felt more like, hey, everyone is seeing me in front of them at this moment. Or maybe they just only had that number of sets, and everywhere that they had a set, they showed him as being there. I don't know. Yeah, probably appeared in the restroom. Like Spaceballs.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
So they're not even trying to open dialogue. The Earth ships come in. They say, this is your only chance to surrender. And Captain Braxton says, launch fighters. Yeah, Josh. That's why you hear the banjo in the background. They become Alabama 5. And he's saying, come on, Captain, you've got to see that these orders are wrong. Thank you for that friendly reminder, Mercer, that Strange New Worlds is coming 3 days from now.
This blows that thing out of the water. Sorry, Mercer.
Hands down. Like, even if I actually enjoyed Strange New Worlds, the level of quality we have in this is just night and day difference. Like, you all know I love Voyager. This is written far better than Voyager.
No doubt. And right, Omni, look at these visuals.
And this is a complicated issue. where he's saying you've got to see that these are illegal orders. And how do you deal with the situation where, maybe someone recognizes it's illegal, but they believe that the thin blue line, so to speak, is more important than the legality of any situation, that you follow orders to the bitter end. Now, Josh, I didn't say I liked B5 more than Voyager. I said this was far better written than Voyager.
No doubt. And for CGI in the mid-90s, this is fantastic.
It really is. Yeah, go, Amiga, go. And it's true, Joel. You're supposed to ignore illegal orders, but that's one of the issues we're facing right now in modern times. Everyone's trying to interpret what is and isn't illegal. A lot of people are getting it wrong. And that's what we're seeing in this episode, where both sides believe firmly that the other side is acting illegally. And so we see that the Babylon 5 has been boarded at this point.
It's not quite right, Texas. They had to upload it on the satellite feed before it was broadcast, and they did it within 2 hours of that upload. That's when they ended the rendering.
Mercer is saying he put a Superman cape on his cat. That's awesome. Did your cat enjoy it?
Just look at this. Music is phenomenal.
The cat did not enjoy it. And this reminds me a lot of the Deep Space Nine episode, The Siege of
ARR. Yeah.
AAR
I can't think of the number.
13 or 17?
No, it's a much higher number.
43, 47?
That was not supposed to catch fire behind him.
Oh.
It was not supposed to. AR558. Thank you, Thomas.
But it's sad that we see the Narn just getting mowed down. And unfortunately, their bravery matches very much with the kind of Japanese mindset that they have based the Narn on. Where one of the difficult things, as I recall, as if I was there. Oh, and they pulled a Worf.
Well, the ship was going to blow anyway, so they...
And Ivanova was so distracted watching the Agrippa, or not the Agrippa, excuse me, the Churchill maybe, sacrifice itself that she clipped another fighter and had to eject. But one of the things that I recall being told about the Battle of Midway was one of the reasons it was so difficult is that the Japanese soldiers just kept coming. It didn't matter how many of them you were defeating, they just kept coming and kept coming. And that's what we're seeing with the Narn right here, where had they listened to Garibaldi and taken a more defensive position, they may not have been mowed down like that right there. And so the Agrippa was exploding, or is about to explode, and he's telling them to stand down, let us come aboard, we take prisoners, we promise safe passage, but it's too late. That or they scuttled their own ship. I'm not sure which. And he's saying the whole integrity was not good. It's a good thing that it stopped when it did, because we couldn't take much more.
Oh, no.
And then we had 3 more battleships come in. But fortunately, it's the Minbari, I'm betting, coming to the rescue. We have 4 jump ships, or jump points, coming right on top of us. And here come the Minbari to save the day.
And the White Star!
And the White Star! Captain Delin at the helm.
Listen, listen.
Ha! So she's telling them that the Babylon 5 is under their protection, so stand down. And the humans respond, this is our jurisdiction. Don't make us fight you. And she goes, why not? There's only been one human captain to ever defeat an Minbari fleet, and he's standing behind me. You're in front of me.
If you value your lives, be somewhere else.
And they did value their lives, fortunately. Oh, and apparently I got another impeachment article against me.
You did. A couple of them, actually.
A couple?
Yeah. Wow. Look at that. You don't see that much on 90s television.
It looks like even Garibaldi got injured.
He did. He actually really broke his arm in this filming. For real.
How?
It just happened during the filming. He broke his arm.
Yeah, Joel, they're probably just sleeping. They're having their eternal rest, if you will. And so they're saying that 30% of their Star Furies have been disabled or destroyed. And Captain Braxton is talking about how with the Churchill destroyed, there's lots of pilots that need a home. Thomas wants to know where the dream aliens are. Well, the episode's not done yet. And so Braxton was saying, you must be proud of what you did. And he's saying, yes, I'm proud, but I'm not happy that we had to do it.
Afraid not, Josh. Afraid not. Josh asks if you're still in this galaxy with your tinfoil hat prediction.
Yeah, not even close. He's saying that he's not going to wear his Earth Force jacket anymore until this conflict is resolved.
Now, they filmed this scene before they filmed the scene where he broke his arm. So here he's with a cane. He's got his arm in his pocket. So, and in the next episode, they kind of cover, kind of indicating, well, his arm is actually broken in this scene.
Mm.
when he didn't break it yet because they filmed this scene out of order.
He's saying to Julian, I'm trying to think of some way I can tell you how much what you did meant to me. He said, I don't know how much this cost you personally. He said, but I want you to know that seeing your face was probably the single finest moment of my life. He's saying, how could I abandon my, as you say, my partner? And they shake hands, but then he gives it a little kiss. And what's the quote from, we're talking about this all being a dream. What's the quote from Midnight Summer Dream? You know, it's all shadows. If we've offended, think of this, and all is mended. You but slumbered here. Something about visions appear. All these visions appear. It's all just a dream. And so they come out, and the promenade is filled with individuals giving them a slow clap.
Now, supposedly the person that starts clapping,
yeah,
that's actually JMS. Traders can't hide.
But the sign, as you saw, was ripped down the middle.
It was.
So fun episode.
Wow.
Lots going on.
Just a tad.
Not sure why you wanted to miss this one.
Well, you know, I just forgot.
Now, okay, so one thing that was interesting to me, talking about how the prophecies talked about how the Great Council was going to be broken before the end. There's a prophecy 1,000 years in the making.
You caught that, did you?
I did, and I was thinking, one, you know, how much of this is a guided prophecy where the Vorlons, perhaps, or someone like them, are guiding history toward a specific outcome, you know, basically a self-fulfilling prophecy, or we do know that there is someone who has a vested interest in Babylon 5 and Dolores who has access to time travel technology.
Oh? Who's that?
Captain Sinclair.
Commander Sinclair?
Yeah. The first captain of Babylon 5.
Well, he actually was a commander, but I take your name.
Yeah.
He's now Ambassador Sinclair.
That's true.
The Minbar.
So it's one of those things where you're like, hey, you know, how much of this, and you know, it's possible that they could have had a true spiritual experience and had these prophecies, but when you have someone with access to time travel.
He has access to time travel?
We saw him sending Zathras to the past. We saw them getting Babylon 4 from the past. There seems to be some time travel-esque abilities. Maybe it's limited. I've only seen really the Babylon 4, which was admittedly unstable. Not exactly the best.
Omni says that he didn't send him to the past. He just crossed a rift. And if you remember, Babylon 4 went forward in time.
It did.
And forward time travel is a lot easier than backward.
Oh, absolutely. But Zathras, he went backwards, didn't he?
Did he?
I'm pretty sure he did. We'll see.
Thomas wants to know what you're drinking.
Just water, just water.
I've got orange juice tonight, and you can't really see it. It's the green screen, but...
So, Jeff, thoughts about this week's episode?
It was okay. No, this was fantastic. So, Severed Dreams, we've been dancing around it. Why the title Severed Dreams? Well, Babylon 5 was a dream given form, and the Earth Alliance had the potential to be something more than it has become, really. And the two parts have gone separate ways now. So, Severed Dreams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely saw
that
that deeper meaning as the episode went on. That it was definitely not just, a Monster of the Week-esque episode.
Definitely was not. Now, this episode won the 1997 Hugo Award for Best Dramatic Presentation.
Oh.
Do you know what it was up against?
Okay, 97.
Now consider that at this time the Hugo Award combined both television and theatrical films.
I definitely was still thinking theatrical. I was thinking Deep Space Nine, but
yeah.
Was it a DS9 episode?
That was one of them. Yes, Trials and Tribulations.
Okay, I see why. As much as I love Trial and Tribulations, one of my all-time favorite Trek shows, because it was just a love letter to Trekkies sort of episode.
It was.
I definitely see why
brilliantly
this one
done.
Oh yes, but this episode was definitely a lot more hard hitting. So I see why it beat it out. Ooh, let's see, 97. What movie was out in 97?
Now also consider that the award is usually given the year after the productions were made. You're probably thinking 96 here.
I was going to say, I think Sphere was early 90s. Was Event Horizon around that time?
I think that was a little earlier, if I remember correctly.
Event
Horizon was a pretty good film, Omni.
Was First Contact around that time? I'm not sure if I would call
96.
Was
and
it?
It was.
No.
Yes. Yes, it beat Star Trek First Contact. It beat Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Trials and Tribulations. It also beat two other films.
Okay. And they're all sci-fi, right?
Yeah.
So
it is. They were.
So Twister is around that time, but it's not sci-fi, so it wouldn't have been up for it. The Alien movies. Alien movies were done. Well, okay, you had like one coming out later. For the most part, Aliens were done. Lost World was 94, 95, I want to say. So I don't think Lost World was in there. I'm at a loss. What else?
Mars Attacks. Oh, which I can see this beating, but
I actually did think of Mars Attacks, and I wrote it off. I'm like, no, that's not I'm thinking more serious. But
the other one was Independence Day.
Oh,
so it had some heavy competition, especially First Contact and Independence Day. It beat out both.
I agree. I agree with. Let me adjust this for a second. Sorry if that static's on everyone. I agree with how they cut that. So,
and take this into consideration too. Babylon 5 won the prior year in 96 for The Coming of Shadows. Same award.
Okay.
So for 2 years in a row, it won Hugo Award for Best Dramatic Presentation.
All right. So I'm, at the very least, for 97, 100% agree with their assessment.
Hi, John.
Oh, hey, John. Hello, John. Mars Attacks, not exactly fine sci-fi. Like, it's a fun campy movie if you like it. Okay.
Yeah.
But it is not peak sci-fi.
I agree.
Trials and Tribulations, I think it's pretty good. I actually, let me go from worst to best. So Mars Attack, bottom of that list. I would put First Contact below Trials and Tribulations.
Would you really? Okay.
I would, and understand I greatly enjoy the First Contact movie, but my logic here is that First Contact was kind of a run-of-the-mill sci-fi adventure movie. They took the Star Trek framework around it, but it was very much your high-octane-esque movie for sci-fi. Not a lot going on there. Trials and Tribulations, though. One, it was pure fan service, so you got that. But two, they actually framed it very well for how they got to the past, their motivations for being in the past, how they were restricted by being in the past. They did a good job of having those moments where they actually got too involved with the past, like the brawl in the bar, and so just it was a cleaner done production, in my opinion, than First Contact.
Definitely more fun.
Yeah. Cleaner done production, excuse me, in the sense of story. And in terms of like actual cinematic, like the way the production value of the show, the shots done, the music, all that stuff. Okay, First Contact is a movie level film, and Trials and Tribulations is not. So excuse me. Let me be more clear with what I mean. I think it is a better written story. So I would have, if it was just First Contact and Trials and Tribulations up for this award, I would have expected to go to Trials and Tribulations. But then above that, I gotta put this episode. Simply because if I'm looking for something that is, what is the heart of sci-fi? I'm going to look at this episode, and it's got heart. It's a well-written story. So with this, and this might be a harder issue, this episode can't stand by itself. And that might be a hard thing when you're considering how do you award an award like this. This episode exists within the larger framework of Babylon 5. So you have to be like, okay, this episode is so good because of what we know about the Mbari people, about their caste system, about the Great Council, about the characters themselves. But, you know, assuming you accept all that, then this episode is just so much better done. And it has a more somber ending, where you actually see, it's not just, hey, we won, party time. It's, hey, we won. Look at all the people that died time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I absolutely see why this episode won. And that's not saying that everything else was crap. That's just saying this one, I think, very legitimately beat them out.
Fair enough. I can't disagree with you. Except
it's true, Mercer. I did have Nicky the Nose.
I think I would put First Contact above Trials and Tribulations. Not by much, but a little bit.
Fair enough. I'm willing to be wrong.
Well, I'm not saying you're wrong. I just have a different opinion. So this episode had, how many scenes do you think this episode had? And what I mean by a scene is anytime there's a change in the camera or location.
Okay, now let me be fair about that. The scene where the captain is projecting himself and we see the promenade, we see the stairway. Do you count those as scenes, or is that one large scene?
Each one is a separate scene. It's a different shot.
Goodness.
Different shot. Let's say shot. Let me add this. Your typical TV script has 60 to 75 shots or scenes for an hour-long program. How many do you think this one had?
Thomas is guessing 47 scenes.
47.
I greatly approve that number. Oh, gosh. So now, do I get it counted as one scene if they recorded it in one take, two different spots? So we're in the hallway, or we're in that promenade, and one time everyone's clapping, and one time we're doing his speech. Same set, probably recorded at the same time. Do you count that as the same scene or separate scenes? Separate?
If the camera changed, if the camera shot changed, it's a separate one.
127.
You're really close. It was close to 140.
Wow. I'm shocked. That's a lot.
It is a lot. And the CGI was just phenomenal for this time period.
I 100% believe that this CGI holds up today.
I think it does. Kay Roberts says the camera was popping, and it certainly was.
like when you stop to think about it, the CGI work done in Babylon 5 is far superior to the CGI work done in Sharknado.
Oh, no doubt.
Any of the Sharknados.
No doubt.
My point being, like, hey, we accept Sharknado. It's like, oh yeah, sure, why not? Like, we get modern stuff that is more clearly CGI than what we got from Babylon 5.
I think you're right. Now, out of those about 140, there were about 100 that had effects in it of some sort.
Okay. Yeah, I see that.
That's phenomenal too.
I definitely see why they were literally encoding the TV show 2 hours before they had to upload it to the
satellite feed.
Cube.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that's true, Texas. It is deliberately not good, Sharknado.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
And Thomas
John agrees.
Yeah, Sharknado better than Section 31. It was
probably yes.
I mean, I hate to admit it, but I really enjoyed Sharknado. Like the entire thing. Like, it is my Fast and Furious.
Just silly goofy.
Yeah, like I look at Fast and Furious, I'm like, I don't see how anyone likes this. And then I look at Sharknado and I go, that's it. It's their Sharknado. Something about it resounded with them. But yeah, that's incredible how much they had to do in this episode. And it's not even the season finale.
No, it's mid-season. It's almost directly halfway. It's 10 episodes in. There are 22 episodes for the season.
So they might have had an extra week or two between this episode and the next episode.
There was a blurb stating that they broke up. This was actually part 3 of a 3-part story, basically, combining with the last 2. And I didn't tell you that on purpose. I didn't tell you this was a 3-parter until now. But they did actually break up the 3-parter. There was a little break in there before this one aired. So they did have some extra time.
All right. So starting with Messages from Earth, where we see Night Force starting to come up to the forefront. Things are getting tense.
That one is the one where we learn about the shadow ship on Mars and then Ganymede. And they go in and try to blow up the one that's on Ganymede.
I thought at the very end of it we saw Vaughn Armstrong's character. the security guard number one.
We did. You're right. But the main plot was about the shadow ship on Ganymede.
Okay, knowing that these were a one continuous story. So we get the shadow ship going crazy. We have the increasing tension where Night Force is like, why is the captain gone for 4 days? Why is no one talking to us? What's going on here?
Exactly.
Then you had Point of No Return, where they're really forced to show their hand that they were going to be part of the resistance. I mean, they tried to play it off, but they're showing their hands. Night Force was somewhat pushed to the side. And then you had this one where they had to deal with the consequence of their action.
Yeah. The president starts bombing Mars. We have colonies breaking away. Ships on the way to Babylon 5 in this episode. Yeah. To take over. And, we didn't talk about her yet, but Dolores, had a big part in this episode.
Yeah.
Big. And boy, she had 2 great speeches in this episode. Just telling off the Grey Council, and then what she does at the end. One of the greatest speeches in the show.
Now, the staff she broke, was that the staff of Valen?
Help me out on that one. I think so. It's the council staff. The one that leads the council holds that. Yes, it was, says Omni.
Okay, that was the vibe I got from it. I don't know if she specifically said that, but when she was talking about
she broke the council by doing it.
Yeah. Great speeches that I talked over. I did. I listened though, Thomas. I multitasked.
I tried to rein him in, Thomas. Yeah, I didn't quite get the job done, but it was an improvement. I tried. I worry about being silent that long for anyone who's not on the stream, And I know that you're also doing it for the people that can't watch the video. They're watching the still frames every 8-9 seconds. So I know why you do it.
But I will be watching this episode again in true silence, Thomas. I promise you. I watched them all again.
I'm sure I know you do. I know you were commenting on the last one on Monday, yesterday.
I'm just always... I'm amazed by how much I do miss. Because I swear, I'm like, okay, I'm at least getting 90% of this, but the 10% I miss, my goodness. Wow. I'm amazed by how much they pack into these episodes.
And here's the thing about this series. Even if you rewatch it a second time, the episode you just watched, if you go back to the start after you end the series, you're going to pick up even more stuff. If you rewatch the whole series again.
And
I know I do.
I agree. 8 episodes for a season, weak sauce. So weak.
No kidding.
I was actually thinking about this. I think it was yesterday. I was watching last week's episode again, Point of No Return.
Mm-hmm.
And I made the prediction that Veer would be Emperor after Londo.
You did, yeah.
I don't know if I'm right. Like at the time, I felt fairly confident that made narrative sense. But honestly, seeing how alone Londo looks in that vision, where's Veer? You have to sit there and go, what happened to Veer? Did Londo finally drive him away? Or is he so sad because Veer is gone and he realizes how important Veer was to him? And he knows what's coming. And so he's just kind of twiddling his thumbs like, okay, when is it going to happen? I'm just done. I'm just done. So I love it. We've seen that vision several times, and now we know the stuff we know about Veer, and I don't know what's going to happen. I love how he's able to give me detail and keep me guessing.
You don't truly understand prophecy until after the fact.
Yeah.
Usually how it goes.
And Kay Roberts is asking about sick transit Veer. That is 2 weeks from now.
You're up to Article 903 now.
Okay. What did I do?
So let's see. We already talked about the one where you told me to watch Man of Steel even though you hated it.
Yep.
Article 899, Thinking Hoshi from Enterprise was in this episode. Article 900, posting a picture a few weeks ago of a quote Dolores says in tonight's episode, which you did do.
I did?
Yes. Her speech right at the end where they jump in and save the station. You posted a GIF or a picture with that quote in it.
Apparently.
Article 901, calling the Zocalo the promenade. Which I missed. I was probably watching the story too much. Article 902, talking over Dolores' speech to the Great Council. Article 903, talking over Sheridan's speech. And it looks like you may be getting another one. Somebody's typing, so we'll see.
Yeah. Is that about me, Kay Roberts? I'm a great guesser, like Blinken in Minute Heights.
Now, I wonder if the Earth Alliance ships at the end would have fought the Minbari, would they have really fired back? Because you got this whole thing going on where they think Minbari souls are being reborn in humans. Would they really fire on humans if they think they're sharing souls at this point?
I would assume so. That needs would necessitate. But that's an interesting point.
It's an interesting question to think about.
Omni is saying that President Clark has less articles of impeachment. Omni, Trump has less articles of impeachment than what I've gotten.
You do have an Article 904. It's you talk over everything. But this one is not from Thomas.
That's good. That's good. I do.
That's a good point, Omni. He says they may fire to disable, but those Minbari cruisers would cut through those Omega classes like a hot knife through butter. You've got a point. They would maybe cut off the engines.
And Jill is pointing out that they might not know that the standard. So to be fair, Dolores was leading the charge, so she might not have. So, but he is pointing out that only the Great Council, and really only some of the people in the Great Council, even believed that the humans were being reincarnated.
Now, one thing about that scene with the Great Council, I wish they could have done, maybe they just didn't have the money to bring in the actor. It's too bad they didn't have Nehruin there.
He's the one that replaced. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. They should have had Nehruin there, but I imagine with everything else, they just didn't have the money.
Sure.
Reading the Usenet's information, average Babylon 5 episode, they had about half the amount of money that Paramount did for DS9 per episode. So, yeah, they had a tighter budget for sure.
I mean, it's rough, but at the same time, DS9 earned that. I should say Star Trek earned that in general.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Star Trek was a franchise at that point, been around for 25 years plus.
Yeah.
Almost 30 years at that point.
Texas, when we're saying that he wasn't there, we mean like the actor wasn't there.
Yes. Now, you notice that they didn't show the faces of any of them, so maybe they were trying to imply he was there.
Oh, sure.
Just couldn't, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that all 9 members of the Great Council were there.
Yeah, we actually did see all 9. There was a shot early on where you could see all 9 of them.
Okay. So yeah, he
But
was there.
it was
just, the actor wasn't.
It was weird though when Dolores left and 5 of them followed her.
That last
You
one.
only saw 3 of the other 4 in the shot, so it was framed a little funny. So you didn't see 4 still standing there. You only saw 3 of the 4.
And that last one, that last moment where when the people who remain, it's not like they aggressively grabbed him by the arm, but like they touched the arm to make him stop. And there's a moment look between the two before that last member walked off and followed Delenn. And that was an interesting moment to me because it seemed like at least one of the members of the warrior caste wasn't on board with the fact that they weren't going to fight.
Omni is saying that 6 followed her. I'm pretty sure it was 5.
Because remember, there aren't 3 religious right now. There are 2 religious, 3 workers, and 4 warriors. But you're right, 6 people left because Delenn left.
Well, Dolores left. Yeah.
Yeah. And Texas is saying he knows the distinction we're making. He's asking, why did he not say anything at this point?
Sorry, I missed part of that.
Nor the military guy who replaced Delenn. Why didn't he speak up at this point?
Probably because they couldn't book the actor. They didn't have the money. So it was just random people probably in the costumes.
Sure.
You didn't see the faces and there were no speaking lines.
Why do you think in universe he might not have spoken up? And that's what Texas is saying right now, an in-universe reason.
Dolores was saying that they were silent because of their shame.
And I guess technically Lanier talked about how they might not even see her or speak to her.
That's true. Well, it wasn't. Yeah, he did say that before she left.
He said, no, they'll see me. And then the guy tried to block her on her way in, and she said, I will speak to the council. And so I wonder, maybe an in-universe reason is that they were unwilling to deign a response to her. Like, no, we're above you.
Although 5 of them did leave.
5 did leave.
So they could have said something. But the 4 that didn't go, they remained silent.
And Thomas, he's saying it'd be funny if the people under the robes was just the main cast. That would be really funny. Like if Franklin was one of the people.
Right, yeah.
In fact, I'm just going to headcanon that, Thomas. It wasn't just some random extras. They're like, no, we need to do this shot. Everyone, pull up the robe, don't say anything.
So a lot of people had questions about why did the religious caste and the worker caste have ships when the warrior caste were the ones that fought the battles and the wars. And JMS answered this way. As part of Valen's covenant, to prevent one caste from taking over the other, each caste had access to its own warships. This was done to create trust 1,000 years ago, and since then, since there hasn't been any conflict between the Minbari, the 3 castes own their own warships still. But in general, are assigned a warrior caste as a courtesy, which can be revoked. So that's why they all had their own ships, their own warships.
Help me remember. In her speech, did she say we have 2/3 of the fighting force, or did she say we have 60%?
I believe she said 2/3.
Okay.
And that does make sense because you still have 1/3 of the population as religious and 1/3 as the worker.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I want to make a note to pay attention to it. And Josh is confirming she said 2/3. Okay, so it makes sense for it to be 2/3. But if she had said 60%, I would have thought that would be interesting, showing that even though they were mostly balanced, that the warrior caste still had slightly more. But that wasn't it. That was just me making up stuff in my own memories.
Now, another part of this episode, General Haig was supposed to be in this originally. They even cast the actor to play the role, but he got a better gig before they filmed.
Oh.
And do you know where he went?
Was it Deep Space Nine?
Deep Space Nine. Yes.
They just keep stealing everything.
They do. They do. It's not over.
What was it? There's something else in this episode. See, we talked about the prophecy, the council will be broke. Oh, okay. So she talked about how everyone was fighting themselves. The humans were split. The alien races were fighting amongst themselves. That the shadow has gotten everyone to start infighting.
Yes. Another good point to bring up about this episode.
I thought it was interesting that the way that I heard her frame her statement, it was as if she was trying to say that, but at least we're not doing that. But ironically, she got them to start infighting. Like, the Mbari aren't literally fighting with each other, but there is clearly a rift among the Mbari people.
Well, the Grey Council's broken. She broke the Grey Council, and it was prophesized 1,000 years ago. I
mean, even before she broke it, it was already damaged by being out of balance. Like, even though they took Delin out of the picture, they could have put another religious caste up there. But at the moment they put it out of balance, it was already maybe not mortally wounded, but it had a solid wound on it. And I think that's interesting because it shows how dark the universe is right now. Like, the shadow spiders have basically set things up, and now all the dominoes are just falling over one at a time, where they're not really having to do anything to get the universe to fall apart at this point. Or they're not having to take direct action anymore.
No, it doesn't seem that way. And Thomas has a good point. The Vorlons are just doing nothing.
Ooh, interesting. It's true. Now, we have heard them mention that the Vorlons are specifically trying to lay low because the second they step in, the shadow spiders are going to accelerate their plans even more. And so even though things are bad, it's better for them to stay out of the picture so that the shadow spiders stay out of the picture instead of everyone just coming out in the open.
Now, interesting, Clark forces Sheridan's hand with the secession from the Earth Alliance, but that kind of plays into Clark's hands anyway. He can use it to say, hey, look, the Minbari are now protecting Babylon 5. The alien influences are all around us. We have to protect Earth. We need this martial law. We need to take control. So it's just going to strengthen his position. We need the Night Force. We need to do all these things.
That was literally the point of Messages from Earth, right?
And it gets even strengthened here, yes.
And that's something where you might be able to argue that the finding of the Shadow Spider ship in of itself was a plant to cause this chain of events.
Maybe. That's a good thought.
Like, obviously, I have no proof that that's the case. But if we had something revealed to us later, like, maybe Discount Rod Sterling comes and says, you guys have been dancing in our hand the whole time. Like, we knew that you'd have to go and stop that ship if we let word get out that there was a shadow ship that the Earth was going to take over. And we knew that we'd be able to use that to reveal you. That's why the Earth Force got there so quick. We had them on standby. Now, you getting away was outside of our plans, but it only served to like reinforce our position because then we were able to do all this. So, right. Like, I don't know. It's one of those things where he has written it well enough that he can actually do a retcon if he wants to. Or, I mean, it could be that he planned it right now, but it would be a retcon from my perspective. Where if he had this moment where, you know, the villain is twirling his mustache and it's like, oh, you've been dancing in my palm the whole time. It works. He's given himself the groundwork for it. Works.
Joel wants to finish the season today. I don't think I'm up for another 12 hours of content. Not tonight.
Yeah, sorry.
One other thing. And we get a little more detail about Dolores here. And Dukat, the former Minbari leader, he died in her arms. And before he did die, he named her as his successor. Now, with 5 of the members leaving, she could have just took over. But she didn't.
Of course, if she took over, I don't think they would have left.
Probably. But she probably could have. Josh says, with that tinfoil hat thinking, maybe Matthew watched episode 14 before and forgot about it. Episode 14. Don't make him look, Josh. Don't make him look. Joel wants us to take a day off of work.
I don't think so, Joel.
Can't do it. Sorry.
It's work to be done.
Exactly.
Well, amazing episode tonight.
Indeed.
We are
2
weeks away from Sick Transit Veer, which an episode I'm still just, the name alone just has me so excited for that episode. Which, as someone pointed out, is Latin for "thus passes the man," but it's also a play on the motto for one of the Virginias, I think West Virginia. Thus to all emperors, or thus passes all tyrants. Excuse me, thus passes all tyrants. So I'm so looking forward to seeing how that one plays out. But
a couple weeks away.
Next week, we are going to be looking at season 3, episode 11, Ceremonies of Light and Dark. Now, I like the name. It makes me think back to the episode in season 1 where we got to see each race's religious activities. And that's the one where they made the joke that maybe Sinclair just got married to Delin, or someone got married, according to one of the people. And
that was Catherine Sakai.
Yeah,
that said that.
Okay. Yep. And it ended with like all the different religions from Earth being in a row, and the aliens shaking the hands with each of the different people, which again blows me away that is how they treated religion in a sci-fi show. Which is such a breath of fresh air over what we get from modern stuff, and even from season 1 and 2 of Star Trek. My goodness.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you.
So it makes me think about that. The ceremonies part, we really focus on 2 alien races when we talk about ceremonies. We focus on the Narn, and we focus on the Minbari.
We saw a ceremony with the Centauri as well, if you recall.
We did, which was so funny. It was so funny. The Londo's actor just going up there, kissing the bottom of one of the statues or something. I think it was, or didn't he ad-lib a lot of that, or?
I don't recall that.
I thought one of y'all told me that he had ad-libbed some of that, or he was given some creative leeway in it. Anyway, well, it's true they did have that ceremony. Whenever I think about true ceremony stuff, those are the two races I think about. It's tough because on the one hand, we've focused a lot on the Mbari. And so I'd want to say this is a Narn episode. But on the other hand, it just makes so much sense to follow up with where the Mbari are after the Grey Council has been split. The Grey Council, who is described as being the... How do they put it? Being the... standing between the light and the dark. And so I think that this episode would make the most sense to focus on the destruction of the Grey Council and the ramifications, or not the breaking, as they put it, the breaking of the Grey Council, and how all the things that they did to be that entity that stood against the darkness, that protected the light as being that barrier, standing on the edge of the light and darkness. And how now that they're gone, the wider impact that's having not just for the Mbari people, but for the universe at large. Yes, that's going to be my prediction.
Sounds like a good prediction to me. I don't know if it's true or not. Well, I do know, but...
Yeah, you do know. I'll find out.
But, yeah, we'll find out with you if you're right. Mercer wants to know why I didn't want to watch this. I was just playing, Mercer. This is a fantastic episode. Maybe the best of the series. Not saying anything about the rest of the series being bad or anything, because it's very, 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 very good. But this may be the best episode of all.
Okay, so honestly, I thought this episode
I take that back. No, I take that back. It's not the best episode of all time of B5.
Okay.
The last episode is the best episode. No doubt about it. Last episode is the best.
It's going to take me a while to get there, but we'll see.
A little while. We're about halfway.
He pulled my leg too, Mercer. What I thought was going to happen was that you're going to show up in character again, and there's going to be. It's going to turn out that that I've been like somewhat right somehow, and that the severed dreams was causing people to be like just in this kind of whatever attitude. Nothing matters. Nothing happens. I'm like, oh wow, I was actually close. Okay, let's do this. But no, my leg was being pulled.
Yeah, yes, Omni. Last episode, bring your Kleenex. No doubt.
It won't be the first time I've cried on one of my streams.
Oh, I'll definitely cry on that stream.
And Texas
I was a blubbering mess the last time I watched that episode.
Texas confirms that Peter, the actor who plays, Londo, was going off script in that scene, and Claudia Ivanova was laughing so hard she was having trouble staying in character.
That I don't doubt.
See, I thought I remembered someone telling me that.
And Gorilla, I think you're being overly harsh there. He says this episode gets an automatic F because Matthew streamed over the cigar lounge.
They all get Fs. I'm sorry, Gorilla. But as they say, Gorilla. Such is life. C'est la vie. And yes, the last episode of Orville also very good, Mercer, which I always, a little spot in my heart always holds out hope that it's not actually the last, but it just ended things so well. If there's never an episode of the Orville, narratively, perfect way to end it. It won't be the last time I start flash flood with my crying. I just do the manly little sniffles. I don't do a flash flood, thank you. At least not often.
I didn't know you started flash floods that way.
Well,
Learn
you know,
something new all the time, I guess.
it leaves me severely dehydrated, but you know, things happen. Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Jeff, any final thoughts before we go?
Just blown away with this episode. It was just fantastic. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you. I'm so glad that I get to watch this with y'all each week. And I look forward to seeing y'all next week. Same bat team, same bat channel, hour of scampering. We look forward to it.
Have a good week, everyone.
Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to hit that like button and share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you will. And be sure to hit that bell icon to be notified of all the updates I do on this channel. If you want to support the work I'm doing here, then I hope you'll consider becoming one of my Patreons, where you'll get early access to all kinds of videos. And until the next time, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen.